Hey everyone! The Great Sphinx of Giza is one of the most iconic landmarks in Egypt and honestly, one of the most famous monuments in the entire world. While the pyramids might get most of the attention, the Sphinx stands right beside them, appearing in almost every photo of the Giza Plateau. Most people believe they know the basics about it. It has the body of a lion and the head of a man, representing Pharaoh Khafre, the builder of the second pyramid. Over time, erosion has altered its features and its missing nose has fueled endless myths. But what if I told you that almost everything you've heard about the Sphinx might not be entirely accurate? Welcome to QuestifyX. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. Let's dive into the real story of the Sphinx. The Great Sphinx is one of the largest and oldest statues in the world. It stands about 20 meters tall and stretches 73 meters in length. It was carved directly from limestone bedrock rather than being built from separate blocks like the pyramids. According to mainstream Egyptology, the Sphinx was constructed around 2530 BCE during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, who built the second largest pyramid at Giza. Nearby, Khafre also constructed a temple next to the Sphinx, linking it to the worship of the sun god. But here's where things get interesting. There's no actual inscription from ancient times that directly states that Khafre built the Sphinx. Scholars only assumed this based on the proximity of his structures. What if he wasn't the true builder? The idea that Pharaoh Khafre built the Sphinx has been widely accepted, but there's no direct evidence proving it. Over the centuries, different rulers have added structures to the Sphinx complex. For example, Pharaoh Amenhotep II expanded the area around it in 1427 BCE. Later, Thutmose IV placed the famous dream stele between the Sphinx's paws, which tells a story about how he was promised the throne in a dream if he uncovered the buried Sphinx. So, if it wasn't Khafre, then who built it? Some scholars suggest Pharaoh Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid and Khafre's father. Others point to Djedefre, Khafre's older brother. But there's an even wilder theory. Some researchers believe the Sphinx could be much older than we think, possibly built by an unknown civilization before the Egyptian dynasties even began. One of the most controversial theories suggests that the Sphinx predates ancient Egypt entirely. Some geologists argue that the weathering on its body, particularly the deep erosion patterns, couldn't have been caused by mere wind and sand. Instead, they believe the marks were left by extensive water erosion, meaning the Sphinx could be over 10,000 years old, built during a time when the Giza region experienced heavy rainfall. Others take this theory even further. Some claim the Sphinx was built by a lost civilization long before the pharaohs. Some even suggest that it was the work of the Anunnaki, an alleged extraterrestrial race that ancient astronaut theorists believe influenced early human civilizations. There's another curious detail. What if the Sphinx was never meant to represent a male pharaoh at all? Some researchers believe that the original sculpture might have had a female face, possibly depicting the goddess Isis. This would completely change our understanding of why it was built and for what purpose. Additionally, ancient texts describe a guardian deity named Ruti, a lion-like figure that protected sacred sites. Some believe the Sphinx was originally dedicated to Ruti, making it a symbol of protection rather than a royal monument. If that's true, it raises another big question. What was the real purpose of the Sphinx? One of the most famous stories about the Sphinx is about its missing nose. Some legends claim that Napoleon's soldiers shot it off in 1798 while using it for target practice. But historical records prove otherwise. Drawings from the 16th century show the Sphinx without its nose, long before Napoleon arrived in Egypt. Another theory comes from the 15th century when a Sufi mystic, Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar, allegedly defaced the Sphinx because people were making offerings to it. However, some archaeologists believe the nose was simply lost due to natural erosion and time. What's even more fascinating? Some evidence suggests the Sphinx was once painted in bright colors. Traces of red, blue, and yellow pigment have been found on its surface, meaning it looked very different from the faded limestone we see today. For most of history, the Sphinx was buried under sand. Several attempts were made to uncover it, but the first serious excavation happened in 1817 by Italian explorer Giovanni Battista Caviglia. Even then, they only partially uncovered it. It wasn't until 1939 that Egyptian archaeologist Salim Hassan finally freed the Sphinx from the sands, allowing the world to see its full body once again. The Great Sphinx of Giza remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Who really built it? Was it a forgotten civilization, a pre-dynastic society, or did the ancient Egyptians simply leave no records of its construction? One thing is for sure, new discoveries could still change everything we thought we knew. That's it for today's video. If you found this fascinating, make sure to like this video, and if you have theories of your own about the Sphinx, drop them in the comments. See you next time. Goodbye.